So let's reverse engineer this. What would happen if I didn't talk about my wife who passed away from alcohol use disorder a little over 4.5 years ago? What would happen if I didn't talk about the time she ran through the front of the house, almost running me over and destroying both our cars that were in the garage? What would happen if I didn't talk about her 4 DUIs in great detail, or her 7 rehabilitation facilities, or the last month of her life when she was in ICU for 28 days and cost $3.2 million. These aren't things that I'm talking about to disparage my wife. No, these are things that we're opening up and trying to expose the road that someone will go down when they get into the different levels of alcohol use disorder. And it's important because if you don't discuss them, if you don't talk about them, if you don't take them out of the closet, they're not only going to permeate worse, it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and no one's going to have anything to talk about. No one's going to have anything to relate to, and it's not going to resonate with anybody. You have to tell the truth. And this is the whole foundation of why we talk about alcohol use disorder and why I talk about my wife who's no longer with us. Because when you tell stories about a loved one who's no longer with us, and it's really this extreme case, and people don't realize that a large percentage of the people who do get into late stage 3 and stage 4, they don't make it. I mean, when you get somebody who's in the denial, deflection, and gaslighting stage, when all the culpability is everybody else's fault and they don't take any responsibility and they're just in a deep denial, and it's really a protection mechanism so that they're not going to have to admit culpability or accountability, and they're protecting the alcohol, which has really become their source of relief. It's become the alcohol has become their solution to their problems, and family wants to take that away. So we need to talk about that and how to discuss what to do with a late stage alcoholic, what to do with an earlier stage alcoholic. Just like any disease, it's so important to get it in the earlier stages. And this is why every time I go live, I talk about 3 of the most important red flags of alcohol use disorder. Number 1, drinking in isolation. Number 2, hiding your bottles and cans all over the house, hiding them so that the people that you live with so you won't be discovered as having this malady of alcohol use disorder. And the third one is when you don't have an off switch, when you don't have the ability to regulate your alcohol intake. You go to social situations and people got to carry you out, and you black out and you don't even remember. These are 3 obvious huge red signs. Drinking in isolation being the most important. And very similar to an AA meeting or a Smart Recovery meeting or a Life Ring or Women for Sobriety or any local, outpatient facility, people stand up in front of the crowd and they expose themselves, and it's a very, it's a very open type of thing to do. You're very vulnerable, okay? And you tell these stories, not because you want to and you want to like public humiliation. No, it's so that we can learn from it, we can resonate from it, and people will go, wow, I relate to that. I don't want to do that, so that's how you start to have open ideas and exchange ideas. Okay, we talk about people who didn't make it. It's very important, and it's a cautionary tale if there ever was one. So it's to learn caution, and if you recognize that going on in your life, it's time to do something about it. If you recognize that you're drinking on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, you got a problem. And if you have to ask myself or anybody else in your life, do you think I have a problem? You got a problem, okay? And I always say, whenever anybody asks me, I drink this and this and this much every week, is that too much? Or yeah, it's not about volume, okay? It's not about how much you drink or what you drink. It's the fact that you're drinking. Okay, and you've created consistency. And if it's creating a problem in your relationships, in your health, or your productivity, like your job or any aspect of your life, yeah, it's a problem. And if you have to look in the mirror and have to ask yourself if you have a problem, yeah, you got a problem. But it's also important to realize that the litmus test is this: ask the people in your life ask them if they think that you have a problem. And if you can't ask them, then you obviously do. And also, go 30 days without drinking. If you can't go 2 days without drinking, well, there's your answer. So then you have to realize, well, it's time to take responsibility. It's time to take accountability before the disease starts taking over and starts wrecking your organs. It's better to nip it in the bud when you're in your 20s instead of dealing with it in your 40s and 50s. And again, I hope these stories and the basis of this, really of this page has really helped. And again, my wife, I think, would be very proud that, that her stories are helping other people. And I know they're starting to hit in a very big and profound way. And again, her book is called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. You can find it on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. If you want this particular copy, you can go to my link in my page. Go to the link tree, go to the website, and the PayPal link is right there. There's no more pre-orders. You order it and it gets sent to you. Amazon, you can get the same copy. Ebook is on Amazon and also Barnes & Noble and on the Apple website. And again, I go live Monday through Friday right around 6 o'clock. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it tonight. I got some clients tonight. And we also have the Facebook group called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. And we also have, when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, I have the coaching program set up a breakthrough call. It's a Zoom call. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We do a deep dive into what's going on with you and your family. The call is free. The course is definitely not. We want to set you up for you and your family for sustainable sobriety for the rest of your life. And again, thanks so much for listening.